Alright guys, this is part two of my night before Thanksgiving. Went all through the house. My gravy is burning. Anyways, Thanksgiving is a special time for me because it's really the only holiday season where you don't have to worry about giving somebody something. You know, holidays come and go, birthdays come and go. Thanksgiving is usually a little more memorable for me, so I like to make it a little extra special. But what I do is, like I told you with the gravy mixture, here, watch the first video so you can see how I done that. I'm going to also make a note about the end of that second video when I'm putting the mixture of the Italian dressing and the brown sugar. You can see that there. When I'm doing that mixture, keep in mind you're going to pour the gravy that's on the stove. You're going to pour the gravy into the bottom of this pot. So you don't want that sweet and tangy mixture to mix with your gravy, because the gravy is actually going to be edible tomorrow or on Thanksgiving, whenever you decide to use the turkey. So keep that in mind. Just because you have extra left over, if you go 1 pound and 1 cup, 1 pound of brown sugar, 1 cup of the Italian dressing, keep in mind excuse me, that you're going to actually probably have some left over. Usually I do 3 or 4 turkeys. Everybody loves my turkey. So anyways, you know, that's what I'm saying. If you're doing 3 or 4 turkeys, it's fine to do like I done, the 2 pounds of brown sugar and the 2 pounds of the Italian dressing, or 2 cups of the Italian dressing. So keep that in mind. You're gonna have some left over. Sorry. I mean, you can try to do a half a pound of brown sugar and a half a cup of Italian dressing. But the thing is, when you open brown sugar from the original packaging, unless you put it in a mason jar, it's going to get all hard and stuff. And if you look up here in my cabinet, I've got tons of dry goods in mason jars. So I generally elect to just use it, and what I don't use I'll throw out. You can also can it and keep it. It doesn't stay very good very long, because once that sugar gets mixed in with the Italian dressing before it's cooked, it's a little too sweet. So just keep that in mind. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the mixture right there. I'm going to pour that mixture into this pot. I don't have any heat on it yet. It's turned all the way down to minimum. It's barely even lukewarm. So what I'm going to do is I'll just pour that gravy over. The innards in that gravy are done, so I'll just pour that over into here, and then I'll turn my heat on somewhere around 225 to 250. Okay, so I took the mixture, the gravy, off the stove, and I poured it right down in the side of this pan, this pot. You don't really want to pour it over the turkey because you've already put your glaze on there, and I always prefer to put the glaze on your turkey before that you put the gravy in, because if you try to put the glaze on after the gravy, you're gonna end up sticking your hand down in 280-degree gravy. That crap's hot. It's not 280 degrees, but you know what I'm saying. So what I'm gonna do is right here, trusty dusty thermostat here. I generally roast turkey somewhere around 225 tonight, since it's just now 11 o'clock, I believe. So 11 o'clock, and we're eating tomorrow at 1, so that's almost 12 hours. So I'm going to leave it at 200, just because it needs to get up to temperature before that, before time. So and you can see some of the innards are still in there. Sorry about the smoke coming up, guys. A little dark there, but some of the innards are still in there. They don't really cook down. Like I said, this gravy is going to be edible tomorrow. They make giblet gravy or whatever. This is pretty much what this is. It's just not exactly the same. It's a little different. So you people that don't like giblet gravy, give this a shot. You're not going to die from it, I promise. I promise you that. So, but I just put my lid on, and as they say, I set it and forget it. So real quick, in the meantime, what I wanted to do with my canning update, just real quick, this pot of water has been boiling at medium. It's been boiling that much at medium for a solid hour. So that's pretty good. And you see the burners there. They're a little different than the other ones that I had. I had a flat top or glass top stove. Didn't really work very well for canning. As I said in the last video, I was having a hard time getting my pressure canner up to temperature. And also, that right there is my water bath canner. You know, on my jars there. It doesn't really stay up hot enough for my preferences. So, like I say, this stove was actually one of my cousins. We traded stoves. She wanted a flat top, and I wanted an older style stove. So, but I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you watching this video. Maybe once I get the hang of this video stuff while I'm cooking. I've never done that, so it's a little strange for me. Let me check on this. I hear some sizzling in there. You can see the bubbles coming up around the sides there. I'm going to go ahead and just say turn this down. I'm going to turn this down just a little. This is actually a new pot. I had one just like it before, and anyways, we'll give this a shot here at 150, and I'll let it go until probably 6 in the morning. When I get up, I'll get up and cut it on up to about 200, just depending on how thick the gravy is. Now, if your gravy, and I didn't touch on this earlier, and there we go again on the sucking it, this video recording crap. So, on the gravy, if you need to make it a little more runny, you don't want to add milk to it. Milk, when you go adding cold milk to a hot product, a hot gravy, you know, making it on the stove and eating it right then is fine, but this is actually going to be cooking for a few hours after you realize that, you know, it needs to be thickened up. So, like I said, just you want to make sure whatever you do, don't add milk unless you heat it, and you can heat it, but you know, I still prefer to add hot water. Just boil a little bit of water on the stove, or you can even put it in the trusty microwave there, and you know, just add it and stir it around the turkey a little bit. But this turkey is going to sit in that gravy, and the bottom of that turkey is going to be so tender when you pull it off, all the meat that you don't want to eat anyways, it's just going to fall right off in the pan when you pull the turkey out. So, good luck, and I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate you tuning in, and look for some more videos. I'm really going to be getting into canning. This year was kind of an experimental year for me. I was more or less just trying to figure out what to do and what not to do. So we'll figure out a few good recipes. One quick thing I want to show you. This I just made beginning of this month. This is, like I said, November, the day before Thanksgiving, 2014. So this is cranberry, and if you can see that in there, it's not very cranberry saucy like. This is a pint jar, but I just took whole cranberries, put 4 cups of sugar, a little bit of pectin. I didn't put enough, obviously, but a little bit of pectin, some sugar, a little bit of lemon juice, just to, you know, give it a little pizzazz. It turned out okay. It tastes really good. It's not very thick, but I've got some family members that I know will enjoy this tomorrow. They love cranberry sauce. Can't have cranberry sauce without turkey. So, or can't have turkey without cranberry sauce. Whatever. So, I've got a mess to clean up, and it's late, and I'm ready to go to bed. So, like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and bear with me. I'll practice at this whole canning, videoing while I'm cooking thing. So, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, like I said, it is actually 12 midnight, so we are on Thanksgiving Day. Guys, be thankful for something. Don't always just be in it for the cooking, or don't always just be in it to be busy. Always be thankful, and just remember where we came from, and remember who died for us and who loves us. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you try it maybe next year. I know it's a little late this year, but maybe next year, or you know, if you have an event for Christmas. A lot of people do Christmas turkeys too, so give it a shot. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions or anything, feel free just to post those in the comments below. Thanks, guys.